You said about 3 years. So did you pretty much start it in like the height of the pandemic? Is that where this came about?
Yeah, exactly. One of my co-founders now, Paul Peck, he creator of Okeechobee Music Festival. He came from Bonnaroo. He was there for like 12 years. We were working together, helping out live streams during that time when they were booming. And there was a ton of artists doing like COVID relief fund, fundraising, stuff like that. But it was more like, oh, while you're watching the live stream, donate here, donate here. And it was very like boring and uninspiring, to say the least. And we're like, there's got to be a better way where like fans want to participate.
We live below the fold. We live underneath those incredible brands.
What is the vision? Right? So like there's a story, but then it's like, where are you trying to go? If it's compelling enough, then you start to get people to believe in it.
All right, what's up, Carlo?
What's up, man? We're back.
I mean, we're kind of back. I mean, we push stuff all over the place. You know, it feels good to take, I don't know, a couple minutes out and talk to an incredible entrepreneur or talk to somebody that's doing something cool. But
Yeah.
I know both of us are just running back into the fire here.
Keeping our head above water.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like my daughter Isabella trying to learn how to swim. All she can do is keep her head above the water.
That's you.
Barely, and she goes down a little bit. That's us.
Yeah.
But it's tour season, so that's what to expect in August.
Well, we got an awesome guest coming on today. I'm personally just really interested to, learning about your platform and the company and, kind of how you got into this. So Ross, welcome. Thanks for coming on our channel, talking to us. It's like usually we're so involved in like merch specifically,
Yep.
but you are in the music industry, but I'm going to let you kind of take it from there. Like give us, first off, tell us about the company, what it is that you do, and then we could back up to your background.
For sure. No, I appreciate you guys having me on. Excited to share a little bit about Fandiem, what we do. So, Fandiem, we started 3 years ago. It's a digital fundraising platform for the music and entertainment industry. So essentially, if you have a fan base and you want to give back, this is an engaging, interactive way where one, you raise funds, two, you reward fans by offering them a once in a lifetime experience they could win. And three, it's a good way for a lot of our partners now look at us as a marketing tool to collect first party data. So, it's essentially crowdfunding meets, reward-based crowdfunding is how we look at it. It's been amazing the past 3 years. We've probably done over 250 campaigns now, worked with artists such as Harry Styles, Metallica. We do stuff on a quarterly basis with where you can, you donate to win, a trip on their private jet to any show of your choice type of prizes. So like stuff you can't buy. Yeah, that's sort of why I can't win. But man, it's been incredible. These experiences, we just sent someone to Japan to see the Strokes. They were on stage at Fuji Rock Festival. So, it's a win-win, which we like for everyone involved. It's a win for the charities. They're not spending any money to collect these funds. It's a win for the fans, whoever wins, it's an incredible experience. And then obviously it's a win for the artists. It's a good look and they can collect some data while doing it as well. So essentially how it is, we're a for-profit business. So, 75% of the revenue goes to the charity that's produced from the campaign, and we take the rest of the 25%. It's been incredible. This year has been amazing, probably our best year by far, and we're excited to see where this keeps going.
Tell me about the name. I like the name, but like I'm always interested. Like, where did the company, name come from? What was like the origin story to that?
I wish I could pin it on one thing. I think it took probably 2 weeks for us to come up with it.
Whiteboard, like
making a list and just
Well, it wasn't whiteboard. It was in a virtual world we were living in at that time, which probably made it a little harder. But we always wanted to have the word fan. Obviously, that's first and foremost where the genesis of where we came from. It's all about the fan, inspiring fan-powered change is what we like to say. And I don't know, I think we were maybe thinking like stadium, which is big, Fandiem, Carpe Diem, and it just rolled off the tongue super well when someone said it, and we went with it. That works.
It works.
Yeah.
You said about 3 years. So did you pretty much start it in like the height of the pandemic? Is that where this came about?
Yeah, exactly. So I was working on my own marketing agency, specialized for the music industry, live events, helping promoters sell tickets, festivals, etc. Started that probably 2 days before the pandemic hit. That quickly
Wow.
changed my trajectory. Yeah. So one of my co-founders now, Paul Peck, he creator of Okeechobee Music Festival. He came from Bonnaroo. He was there for like 12 years. We were working together, helping out live streams during that time when they were booming. And there was a ton of artists doing like COVID relief fund, fundraising, stuff like that. But it was more like, oh, while you're watching the live stream, donate here, donate here. And it was very like boring and uninspiring, to say the least. And we're like, there's got to be a better way where like fans want to participate, want to donate. They feel much better about doing it. So that's kind of how it came about. Like we're working with a venue in New Orleans called Tipitina's, legendary venue. They were going to go out of business, but they had, because of COVID, they had their own foundation. So we worked on a live stream with them, and what we did is put a package of 6 prizes together. So a signed trombone from Trombone Shorty, a golden ticket to the venue. There's a few others that were like, okay, let's do an MVP on Fandiem. Let's see if fans want to donate to support their foundation and get a chance to win these pretty cool prizes. And it like was incredible. Raised over 6 figures for the venue. Really kept the venue in business, and we're like, I think we got something good here. And from there, it was kind of like, on to the next artist, and yeah, we've definitely come a long way since then.
Nice.
So how did you build that MVP? Like, it seems like, this is quite, I don't want to say complicated technology, but if you're involved in any streaming or, any finance whatsoever, accepting payments or anything like that, it seems like, it's quite challenging on the tech side. Tell me about like, how did you get into building the piece of technology? Did you do it in-house? I'm always interested. What was that journey look like?
Luckily, there were some tools that we could spy on competitors to see what they were built on. And I done merch in my past and used Shopify, and I thought, that could be a good first building block to build on top of. So we did, and to say the least, like with sweepstakes is a very difficult lane to operate in. It's very like legal driven, very complicated, a lot of like, attorneys stuff to deal with, which affects your payment processor. So when we were live, we built a very skimpy version on Shopify. Each sweepstakes was its own product. We kind of had like custom code some things for like randomizing entries and all that stuff. But in the middle of the live stream and fundraiser, Stripe decides like, oh, you guys are a high risk merchant. We don't want to, deal with you. So they cut off like in the middle of the whole thing. They're like,
oh my God. That's crazy.
So like
Terrible.
panic free. Yeah, it was awful. Somehow like got something working not too long later. But yeah, I mean, the first product, if I saw it now, I'd be like, why would people even trust this thing? But listen, if it works, people don't really care if it's doing its job. And then obviously iterating to get it to where it's at now, where it looks good, it reflects a good brand, and we're happy with the product now for sure.
Nice. You got to start somewhere, right? And why reinvent the wheel if you see some other people out there and they're successful? Kind of, what do we say, rip off and duplicate a little bit and check it out and get inspired. Yeah. I was checking out some of the artists that you guys have. Cream of the crop. A lot of the artists that we work with too. I saw like Jonas Brothers on there. I'm interested in like the process behind that. How do you connect with those artists? And then do they have a say in the charity? Is it their call which charity they want to work with?
Yeah. Happy to walk you through. I mean, so it's 5 of us as partners. Like I said, 2 of them came from Bonnaroo. One of them, Jared, who leads our biz dev, sells festival sponsorship. So coming into it, we had a lot of relationships, which we kind of went after first. And what we do is basically we speak directly to artists and management, right? Like we don't go through the agents. So started a lot of cold outreach, and from then it's been able to, like, within a management company, you go from one manager to another, which has been nice, and built up a good roster since. But yeah, we basically, it's a fully involved process. It's they select a prize they want to offer their fans. We help them come up with the experience, like make it big, grandiose. They select a nonprofit. A lot of these artists nowadays, especially the big ones, Metallica, Fish, Imagine Dragons, they have their own foundation, so they are doing on a year-round basis, raising for their charities. This is a more interactive, like I said, engaging way for them to do so. So yes, they select a nonprofit. We collaborate on the prize, and then what we do, we build out the entire page, the graphics, agree on the promotional schedule. Campaign lasts around like 60 to 90 days usually. And we put, our in-house paid marketing and performance marketing team put some social behind it, social ads. And yeah, I mean, it's a very involved process with the artist. We try to make it as low lift as possible. But yeah, that's kind of how the process works.
Gotcha. Yeah, I wanted to know if you could pick one prize out of all the sweepstakes that you've done to win, which one would that be? Let's say you could have cheated and changed it up and put your name. What
I just pick the win, so that is not possible, but possible if I really wanted to.
Yeah, like what is the one, like, this is like, okay, if I could have picked anyone to win, if you were a fan, what would it be?
We did an experience with deadmau5 in Miami during Art Basel, and you can go jet skiing with deadmau5 and then go to his show.
Nice. That's pretty cool.
Nice.
Yeah, in Miami. So I would have definitely done that. We do have someone on our team, Chelsea. She's amazing. She's account director and activation manager. So she actually is going to, like, these experiences and making sure the winner gets exactly what they're promised. She's on the ground. She does a great job handling them, getting content while they're there. So if you want to talk to some stories, like, she has a ton of stories about some really cool winter experiences that have happened.
She's got a cool role.
We're going to have her on. That's going to be part 2 of this series.
If you ever have Taylor Swift, Rich will be the one trying to jump on that one.
Yeah, you're darn right I will.
Really internal fight for that one too.
Yeah. No, it looks like a really cool experience. I was checking out some of the videos on your site, and you donate, and then you guys do a drawing a couple days later after that campaign's over, and I saw some of the videos where you're like telling someone that they won and how excited they get, and obviously they're real big fans of the artists that they're working with and just get so emotional, and so it's cool. It's like you're tapping in 3 different streams there. You're getting money for the charity, obviously feeding the beast when it comes to the fan, and then for the artists they're doing something good, right? So it's like a feel good for them. So
yeah, and a lot of it for the artists too. Like I mentioned, like, a lot of people run sweepstakes in the first place to collect data, like, especially nowadays when, first party data and you can't rely on pixels and stuff as much anymore. Like, we not only give them a chance to, get marketing value out of it, you do good, and then obviously you reward a fan. So it's I like to say a win-win-win scenario for everyone involved.
For sure.
Well, what has been, as now you built the MVP, you have some wild, high profile clients. You seem to, be progressing quite quickly. What is the latest challenge? And I ask that, but pretty much all of our viewers are entrepreneurs, whether they run a brand or whether they have a brand of their own. They're all entrepreneurs. So, what has been like the latest? Like, what challenge are you working on at the top right now?
I think our challenge discussions are really around, like, we've grown 2x consistently, year over year. Like, how do we get the 10x? Like, how do we scale efficiently? That doesn't require a lot of, capital or resources to deploy it and get there. There's a million ways to do it. It's really finding the, top 1 or 2 ways. So I think getting to that next level, we've done a great job building this completely curated platform, like, full service. Like, we do everything from A to Z, like I mentioned. How do we kind of lean more into the product side where it can work for us versus us working for the product? I think that's kind of like where at least my mindset at, is at the head of product. We also do have some good strategic partnerships, with bands in town that helps us reach, artists, hundreds of thousands of trackers. They help us out on media spend, and reaching those fans that way. So it's a two-sided question. As a marketplace, you have the supply, you have the demand. Like, okay, like how do we really bolster both and scale both sides efficiently? So that's kind of where we're at with things.
Nice. Yeah, growing 2x is not a bad thing, but it comes with its challenges, right? It's like, do you want to continue growing at that pace, or is 3x okay? So, I mean, depends on if you're growth minded. We have those conversations too, but sometimes it's like, well, staying at that first level, it's a little less painless. But
I mean, in this environment too, like, I think we're being profitable is probably the most important thing. You're not every company becomes a unicorn, and not unicorn as like valuation, but more like actually viable business that can last a long term. So, a lot of things has changed in the last year, which has changed mindsets, but I think it's for the better for sure.
Yeah, seems like you guys are doing some cool things, man, and congratulations on building what you have so far, and trying times too, because that's something to say.
Yeah. I have one more question for you. What is kind of like your dream experience? Now, I know we're always trying to figure out, okay, what is this next thing that we're, going to do? If you had to say, this is the one dream sweepstakes or experience or something that you haven't done yet, what comes to mind first?
For me personally, or for
for you personally?
For me, being that, I've DJ'd, made music since probably 7th grade. Now, admiring what Fred Again's done. Yes. I think
it's incredible.
Being a guest for a back-to-back Fred Again, DJ set at Red Rocks would be the coolest thing I could possibly think of, but that probably won't ever happen.
Hey, you're out. Fred, we're saying Fred Again, your team, reach out to Ross right now. Come on, this is gonna be the dream
again. Yeah.
That's it. I mean, we can raise a bunch of money for a good cause. You got Fred, you got Ross DJing. We sell the place out. That's a done deal.
Nice. Now, Carlo and I could be checking IDs. So we got, we got the whole crew together. We get the band back together here.
That's right.
We got some merch, some back-to-back merch we got going on from you guys. That'd be sweet.
For sure, man. Thank you so much. I think we're going to try and get more and more into different parts of the business. And, we've really enjoyed talking to you. I would definitely like to have your team on as well, because just talking about some of those experiences, real life, I think,
that'd be cool.
Our audience would, appreciate that. And it's a nice little break out from, constantly like merch. We get
apparel.
A little bit of other sides of the music industry and business in a whole, and tech. So this has been great, man. Thanks so much for joining.
Yeah, man. Thank you guys. I appreciate it.
All right. Talk.